Welcome back. We do have our top six who are going to be advancing to this third round of the Poetry Out Loud State Finals this evening. In this order, you'll be seeing in this round. We're going to take a little break before we launch straight into round three. Not another break where I'm just going to say some stuff so you don't jump right in. But in this order, these six folks will be reading in the third round: Anna Kochever, Abigail Ederson, Signe Stromgren, Alina Vang, Awazi Jafaru, and Paul Cushman will be our six going into the third round. Let's keep that going, please, for everyone who's read tonight yet. I want to give some thank yous before we continue into that final round. First, I want to thank Tara Rosman-Clark, who donated for our top six. They will be going home this evening with Green Card Youth Voices, an anthology that Green Card Voices put together of some really fantastic youth work. And I also want to thank Coffee House Press, Grey Wolf, and Milkweed, who donated some, I'm not sure, I think they're still out. There are some free books on that back table over there, so if you didn't peruse that yesterday and you want to take home some free books of poetry with you tonight, thanks to Coffee House, Grey Wolf, and Milkweed for donating those, and you're certainly welcome to take some as you head out the door this evening. Without further ado, though, are we ready for this third and final round of our Minnesota Poetry Out Loud competition? I paused before saying poetry out loud, and someone paused clapping. I appreciate getting to the end of my sentence before the applause started. That was really fun for me, and again, not like hosting bar readings. Please welcome back up for round three, Anna Kochever.
The Idler by Alice Moore Dunbar Nelson. An idle lingerer on the wayside's road. He gathers up his work and yawns away a little longer, ere the tiresome load shall be reduced to ashes or to clay. No matter if the world has marched along and scorned his slowness as it quickly passed, no matter if amid the busy throng he greets some face, infantile at the last. His mission? Well, there is but one. And if it is a mission, he knows it, nay, to be a happy idler, to lounge and sun and dreaming, passes long drawn days away. So dreams he on, his happy life to pass content, without ambitions, painful sighs, until the sands run down into the glass. He smiles, content, unmoved, and dies. And yet, with all the pity that you feel for this poor mothling of that flame, the world, are you the better for your desperate deal when you, like him, into infinitude are hurled?
Thank you, Anna. I'm going to spend most of the rest of the evening saying some thank yous because Poetry Out Loud is a large program that's supported and run by many folks, and we are ever so grateful for all the support this program receives. So on that note, I do want to thank again to the Minnesota State Arts Board for making this happen tonight, and for really the past and continuous months, really year-round, they do a whole lot to support Poetry Out Loud, which is amazing considering the amount of programming they support throughout the state. So thanks to MSAB for always being there for artists, much appreciated. Please welcome back up Abigail Ederson.
The Ocean by Nathaniel Hawthorne. The ocean has its silent caves, deep, quiet, and alone. Though there be fury on the waves, beneath them there is none. The awful spirits of the deep hold their communion there, and there are those for whom we weep, the young, the bright, the fair. Calmly the wearied seamen rest beneath their own blue sea. The ocean's solitudes are blessed, for there is purity. The earth has guilt, the earth has care. Unquiet are its graves, but peaceful sleep is ever there beneath the dark blue waves.
Thank you, Abigail. And I want to very sincerely thank, once again, the barista downstairs who said my shirt was great. It really, I feel like I really turned a corner on the evening. The real, I'm not gonna say hero of the event, necessarily, but it's a lot there for really just me. Please welcome back up Signe Stromgren.
Uphill by Christina Rossetti. Does the road wind uphill all the way? Yes, to the very end. Will the day's journey take the whole long day? From morn to night, my friend. But is there for the night a resting place? A roof for when the slow, dark hours begin? May not the darkness hide it from my face? You cannot miss that inn. Shall I meet other wayfarers at night, those who have gone before? Then must I knock or call when just in sight? They will not keep you standing at that door. Shall I find comfort, travel sore and weak? Of labor you shall find the sum. Will there be beds for me and all who seek? Yea, beds for all who come.
Thank you, Signe. And I want to take a moment. Can we give a huge round of applause to these judges up at the front table here who are doing a great deal to move this forward. Thank you so much for your time and what you're doing this evening. We're halfway through the third and final round. This is where it starts to get tense. The night we start to realize what time it is. Before we move on to the next reader, can I just have all of us make a lot of noise in the name of poetry and what we're here for this evening? Yeah? Now! There was no great reveal at the end of that line. It was just whatever you're here for this evening, like your internal, it's like your intention this evening. Can we have a round of applause for all of our intentions this evening? Yeah? All right. I'm going home. I'm not. Please welcome back up for this third round, Alina Vang.
Time does not bring relief. You all have lied. By Igna St. Vincent Millay. Time does not bring relief. You all have lied. Who told me time would ease me of my pain? I miss him in the weeping of the rain. I want him at the shrinking of the tide. The old snows melt from every mountainside, and last year's leaves are smoke in every lane. But last year's bitter loving must remain heaped on my heart, and my old thoughts abide. There are 100 places where I fear to go, so with this memory they brim. And entering with relief some quiet place or never feel his foot, or shown his face, I say, there is no memory of him here, and so stand stricken, so remembering him.
Thank you, Alina. And I truly want to thank everyone here who's come to support these readers. Thank you for building community around this program. Thank you for building support around students who have chosen poetry because they believe in it. Thank you on behalf of the creative community and on behalf of someone who cares a lot about Poetry Out Loud in this program, and on behalf of all the participants for being here and supporting, and for sometimes driving long distances in the name of poetry recitation. It's a really amazing thing. No, I mean that sincerely. Thank you. Thank you for what you've done to support Poetry Out Loud by being here. It's much appreciated. Please welcome back up to the mic, Awazi Jafaru.
Invictus by William Ernest Henley. Out of the night that covers me, black as the pit from pole to pole, I thank whatever the gods may be for my unconquerable soul. In the fell clutch of circumstance, I have not winced nor cried aloud. Under the bludgeonings of chance, my head is bloody but unbowed. Beyond this place of wrath and tears looms but the horror of the shade, and yet the menace of the years finds and shall find me unafraid. It matters not how straight the gate, how charged with the punishments the scroll. I am the master of my fate. I am the captain of my soul.
Thank you, Awazi. We have one more reader before we take another short break for some final tabulation and then come back for awards. But before we go to that, a giant final thank you. And when I feel like we, as a refresher, when I say the names, that's when we can cheer and clap. That's the end of my sentence, is what I say the following names. Can we please thank Amanda and Catherine, who have been running this program tirelessly for the Loft Literary Center, really taking care of Poetry Out Loud and making it what it is today. I worked at the Loft for 3 years. Running Poetry Out Loud is not, it's not a simple task. It does take a lot of work. And being a participant in Poetry Out Loud also takes a lot of work. So I just didn't want that to go unrecognized, is that this takes quite a bit to put on. So thank you to Amanda and Catherine for making it the thing. And please welcome back up our final reader of the night, Paul Cushman.
A Valediction, Forbidding Mourning by John Donne. As virtuous men pass mildly away and whisper to their souls to go, whilst some of their sad friends do say, the breath goes now, and some say no. So let us melt and make no noise. No tear floods nor sigh tempests move. 'Twere profanation of our joys to tell the laity our love. Moving of the earth brings harms and fears. Men reckon what it did and meant, but trepidation of the spheres, though greater far, is innocent. Dull, sublunary lovers' love, whose soul is sense, cannot admit absence, because it doth remove those things which elemented it. But we, by a love so much refined, that ourselves know not what it is, assured of the mind, care less, eyes, lips, and hands to miss. Our two souls, therefore, which are one, endure not yet a breach, but an expansion, like gold to airy thinness beat. If they be two, they are two, so as stiff twin compasses are two. Thy soul, the fixed foot, makes no show to move, but doth, if the other do. And though it in the center sit, yet when the other far doth roam, it leans and hearkens after it, and grows erect as that comes home. Such wilt thou be to me, who must, like the other foot, obliquely run. Thy firmness makes my circle just, and makes me end where I begun.
Thank you, Paul, and thank you to all of our readers in this third round. We are going to take a little bit of a break, do some final tabulations, and bring folks up for our results and awards. So hang tight, don't go too far. I just want to tell one more little story thing before things wind down. The second, what I think was really transformative moment in my life with poetry, I'm a writer. I write poetry. I was very honored and lucky to take a workshop with Carolyn Forche at one point, who is like this living legend of poetry out in the world, and just kind of this kind of ethereal, like, walks into a room and is like, hello, I'm Carolyn Forche. I'm going to teach you all the secrets of my universe of poems. And she asked us, she said, do you consider yourselves poets? And we're all like, 20, and going like, I don't know. Maybe. I consider myself tired. And she said, calling yourself a poet is a very serious thing to me. She said, because by calling yourself a poet, you are entering into a tradition that is older than so much in the world. She says, if you call yourself a poet and you really take this on, you have a duty to carry on this legacy of poetry in the world. You have a responsibility, especially in the oral tradition, to continue telling stories and continue reciting poems and continue speaking to people about the world as the way that you're seeing it. And I took that really seriously. And I made a joke earlier where I said, oh, some idiot writes a poetry is dead op-ed, ha ha ha, which comes around every couple of years. But it hurts. It kind of hurts all of us when one of those comes around, because it's, poetry is, we look to poetry for joy and sadness, and we look to poetry. Poems come up in every sort of occasion. Poetry's come up at weddings, at funerals, at birthdays. Just you see them carved into the walls at coffee shops, and you find them hanging out just like poems on pieces of trash in the park. Poetry's kind of everywhere, and so when somebody says poetry is dead, I find it to be a really hurtful thing, and maybe that's because Carolyn Forche brought her ethereal imbueness upon me and said, "You must take on." But as a writer, I'm really heartened by the poems we heard tonight. Many of them have, and all of them will exist much longer than we do, and that's amazing. It's just amazing that these kinds of ways to see the world and these little glimpses into the ways that people confront their existence, that I said, started in someone's brain and then went out in the world in so many ways and came back to all of us here tonight. They're going to keep going, and I think that they'll keep going because of us in some way. So I want to thank you. I want to sincerely thank all the participants in Poetry Out Loud for continuing this tradition. Whether you like it or not, you're part of it now. And it's there are people in the world, myself included, who take that very seriously, and I think that all of you do as well, because I see the stories move through you on this stage, and it means so much as someone who's creating these things to see that there are people who believe in them so much to keep putting them into the world in their own way. So I want to say thank you, and I want to thank everyone who showed up to support that this evening. I just want to personally say thanks to all of us. So here is how the next few minutes are going to go. We're going to please ask everyone, all of the readers, all 12 of you, if you just want to come up and hop on stage, just hop in 2 lines here. If we could have the six readers from the third round in the front row. This will be important for our very precise blocking of the next few minutes of stage work here. But those 6 readers. And as they come up, let's give them one more round of applause for all of them. Yeah! Absolutely! We'll have time for photos in a short bit. We're gonna roll through on this. As I say your names, these are just all 12 readers tonight. I'm just saying the names in the order you saw them. Don't panic because I start saying names. Catherine and Amanda are going to come and hand out some books as prizes to these folks. Please applaud and cheer as you'd like. Anna Kuchever. Bella Caleri. Nancy G. Sarah Most. Abigail Ederson. Signe Stromgren. Alina Vang. Noah Carlson. Owazi Jafaru. Riva Dank. Ashley Haxton. And Paul Cushman. As I said before, our top 6 of the evening will be taking home that Green Card Youth Voices, donated by Taya Rosman Clark this evening. And time for our finalists. In third place this evening, Owazi Jafaru. Yeah, if you could just step forward. Yeah, if we could just have the finalists step forward as I call their names, and just kind of hang there. In second place this evening, I'm doing very well. In second place this evening, Abigail Ederson. And in first place this evening, going on to the Poetry Out Loud National Competition, Anna Kuchever. Truly, congratulations to all of our readers on stage. Congratulations. I truly can't imagine doing what you've all done over the past number of months. So congratulations. If I could have everybody just hang tight for a second, Anna's going to be taking some photos. I know everyone wants to run to their families and say hi, but it'll be really, really quick, especially if no one goes. But thank you so much to everyone supporting this program. Congratulations to all of you, and get home safely. Take care.